Hey y'all, in this video we're going to be making some biscuits and gravy. It doesn't take very long. It's definitely a great special to enjoy on a weekend breakfast. And I'll take you through the steps of getting this done. Let's go y'all! Guys, and thanks for joining me for yet another video. In this presentation we are going to be making some breakfast pork gravy, hence the reason I have some minced pork here. You can use any minced meat that you prefer. You can use ground turkey, ground chicken, ground beef. I just happen to be using ground pork. So I'll show you the ingredients I'm going to use to make this gravy and what we're going to do it with. Now to make this, we're going to need a few ingredients. You're going to need 3 tablespoons of cooking oil, about ½ cup of minced cilantro, 4 leaves of Spanish thyme cut, or you can implement regular thyme, 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of minced onion, a tablespoon of chicken base, a 1/4 teaspoon of hot sauce, a tablespoon of green seasoning, ½ teaspoon of minced garlic, ½ teaspoon of minced ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon of mixed spice, and this is clove, minced clove, a 1/4 teaspoon of that as well. And yeah, that's all you're gonna need. You're also gonna need a frying pan, which we're first gonna pour our oil into and put the frying pan. So to your frying pan, you're going to add your oil, your 3 tablespoons of oil. And it's at a medium-high heat, and this is not going to be taking very long. We'll just let this sit in here for about 1 minute. So to the oil that's been heating for 1 minute, we're going to add in our chopped minced onions. We're also going to add in our minced Spanish thyme, and we're going to put in at least half of our coriander. Just half of it. Right, leave half back. And then we're going to give these items in. So after 3 minutes have passed with these items steaming in the pot, we're going to start adding some of our seasoning to this. We're going to start off with our green seasoning. We're going to add a 1 tablespoon of green seasoning, 1 tablespoon of chicken base seasoning, ½ teaspoon of minced garlic, ½ teaspoon of minced ginger, ½ teaspoon of hot sauce. That's all we're going to add to this for now. We're going to give these items a stir to incorporate, and we're going to be adding our meat in right away so that it can absorb some of this flavor. So I have my pork on the side right here, and I'm just going to be placing it into my pot, and I'm going to start integrating the seasoning into it by mixing it into it and breaking it down. Yeah guys, so I'm just now starting to break down the pork into the seasoning so that it can get some of this flavor. So I'm just you know, mixing it in, pressing it out so that it's singled out and not clumpy. So I'm just using the back of my spoon to do that. So it's been about 5 minutes of it just sitting on a medium-high fire. I've just been stirring it around. Yes, there's a lot of oil, but we're eventually going to be making a gravy, which we're going to be using this oil for. You know, it will help bring our gravy together. But so yeah, it'll be absorbed by the flour and such when we proceed to the next step. But we'll let this cook for another 5 minutes, total 12 minutes, and then we'll take it off. Okay guys, so the 10 minutes has passed. As you can see, there's lots of oil. So what I have done is I have a bowl here with a strainer in it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift all this pork into the strainer, and then we're gonna reuse our oil that we have. So I'm just pouring this out into the strainer so that we could drain off the oil, and we're gonna be using that oil for the next part of the process. Yeah, and right now it's in a frozen state inside here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna not be doing 8 croissants. I'm just gonna open the can, I'm gonna cut it in half, and then again, so it'll be 4 per can, hence the reason I'm gonna use 2 of these. So I'll end up with 8 biscuits that will be going with this pork gravy that I'm making. So I'm gonna take this out of the pan and show you what it looks like, and I'm gonna be cutting them into the shapes that I just described. Alright, so here's the 2 reels of the dough. So like I said, I'm gonna cut it in half first, and then I'm gonna cut it again and again here. So I'll end up with a total of 8. So we're going half, and then we're going half again, and then we're gonna single file them out onto the tray like so to be baked on your pre-sprayed tray. And they're gonna be going into the oven, a preheated oven of 375 degrees, and they're gonna stay in there for about 10 to 12 minutes based on the color. You don't have to make them stand, you can make them sit. Actually, I'm gonna make half sit and half stand, and we'll see what comes out of that. And yeah, so I'll put this in. So we're gonna be adding our fat to this frying pan. We have this frying pan on a medium-high heat, so we're just gonna pour the grease from our pork into it. We're gonna allow it to heat up for 1 minute, and then we'll be adding our measured portion of flour to this. As soon as the fat heats up, we're gonna use it with our flour. As you can imagine, there's a lot of grease here, so the butter that we did set aside, the 3 tablespoons of butter, we won't be using that, but we're gonna proceed with our flour here. So we're gonna add the 3 tablespoons of flour to our oil, and we're going to start mixing that in. You can use a whisk. If you don't have a whisk, you can use a fork till it's all combined nice and smoothly. That's what we're going for. Yeah guys, so we have our flour that sucked up all of that grease right now that we mixed it in. Our fire's still on a medium high. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this cook a little bit. So I'm just kind of angling all of my flour around to the middle so that it can cook. However, I want it to be a little spaced out so it's not all together. And I'm gonna let this sit here for about 2 minutes undisturbed. Hey guys, before I forget, I should mention that you do need a cup of milk. Any milk of your choice will do. For me, I'm using a 2% milk right now, as well as you're gonna need 1 cup of regular hot water. So both of them are, the milk is warm and the water is hot, as you can see the steam. And we're gonna slowly be adding this to our mixture. It's been about 3 minutes with the flour being cooked on its own, and we're gonna slowly start adding. For starters, we're gonna put in some water. Half of our water just went in, and we're gonna integrate our flour into that. We're also gonna put in half of our milk. We're gonna mix in our flour very well into this moisture. We're looking for a very smooth paste, smooth consistency. So we're gonna keep adding. That was my oven ready for the biscuits. We're gonna keep adding more liquid to this. Hey guys, so I'm back. All of our liquid has been added to our pot at this time. There we go. And what I'm gonna do, because we didn't use the butter that we initially intended, I'm gonna just use 1 tablespoon. To that 1 tablespoon, I'm just gonna be integrating it into this. It's gonna add back a certain kind of moisture back into this mixture, because remember, we're going for a creamy paste, right? So we're just gonna mix that around. It's already melted, but we're gonna spread it throughout this flour. So to our creamy mixture, we're gonna start adding some more seasoning to this. We're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of green seasoning, the rest of the cilantro that we left back, half a teaspoon of minced garlic, half a teaspoon of minced ginger, and we're gonna go in with some mixed spice, half a teaspoon of minced clove, a tablespoon of chicken base, a touch of hot sauce, just a 1/4 teaspoon, and then we're gonna mix these ingredients to incorporate. Hey guys, I'm just now taking our biscuits / rolls out of the oven. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just be transferring them. They're very soft. We're gonna just be transferring them. These are the ones that were laid down, and these are the ones that were standing up. So yeah guys, it's a good cheat if you don't feel like making biscuits. This is a really good way to cheat and get the same idea. So as promised, we're going in with our pork into this mixture, and we're gonna give it a mix to integrate. Our fire is, now that I added the pork, our fire is on a medium low, because everything's pretty much cooked. The flour is cooked, the pork is cooked, everything's cooked. This is just a matter of getting things to meld together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this on a medium low fire for the next 5 minutes, and then we're gonna turn it off. Hey guys, so I'm just back. I'm just now turning off my stove, and our pork creamy gravy is ready to go. So here on my plate I have 3 of our nice warm buns that we made, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna be generous in spreading this sauce over top them. So I have a nice scoop here, and we're gonna take our scoop and we're just gonna go right over our buns like so. Once again, over the next one like so, and again over the next one like so. So guys, that was 3 nice scoops. I'm actually gonna touch it up a bit more and let it drizzle right down the bun. So yeah, that's how I do it. I just love when it stains the bun, and you can just take a fork now and bite right on into this with the gravy. So yeah guys, this meal is totally ready to be served. It's drizzled in a nice pork gravy, and yeah, all it needs is its eater or the person to enjoy it now. But yeah, that's how I make pork gravy with biscuits. It would have been real biscuits, but I didn't feel like making them, so we cheated a little bit with some croissants, and yeah, that's how it's going down this morning. Yeah guys.